36. All right, Texas press conference. Coach Herman, could you start with an opening statement? And then if you have questions, please raise your hand. Mike Cullers will go and direct it to one player at a time, please. Thank you.
Yeah, certainly hats off to the University of Utah. Very classy organization in our dealings with them throughout the bowl week. I couldn't be more impressed, and certainly you don't win 11 games in the regular season without being a extremely well-coached team. I've got a ton of respect for Coach Whittingham and the way that he does things, and just, getting a chance to spend a couple different times with him at length. Very impressive coach, and I look forward to continuing a relationship with him because he's one of the good ones out there. Hats off to our fans. Wow, that certainly felt like a home game, and I think I saw up on the scoreboard 60,000 something in attendance. What an awesome job for them to come support us. And then finally our players, wow, did they play hard. And we knew that's what it was going to take. We knew that this was probably going to be the most physical team that we played all year. And our guys rose to the occasion. We were about as healthy as we've been in quite some time. We were fresh. The guys enjoyed the bowl experience the entire month leading up to it. They had fun with each other. They bonded. And they took care of their bodies. When it was time to work, they worked their tails off, had a great few weeks of preparation, and couldn't be prouder of the way they played tonight, not just only in execution, but in effort and physicality. Just so impressed by them.
Questions, raise hand, front, middle.
Yeah, Tom, in your 3 seasons, you guys have always had your best success when you're imposing your will on the opponent, metaphorically punching them in the mouth until they fold, right? And you guys did it again tonight. How do you get them to do it consistently, week in, week out, 13, 14 games?
Well, we got to be healthy. We're not to the point yet where our depth is where it needs to be. We've got to develop that depth to do that. And it's got to be a mentality that permeates the entire organization, and it can and it will. And that's my job, is to make sure. I don't have all the answers right now on New Year's Eve as to how to get that done, but I'm excited for the off season to challenge these guys, to understand what they're capable of when they do play that way. And this was an unbelievable learning experience for a lot of those freshmen and sophomores in that room. Those guys, we had our ups and downs with that crew throughout the season, but I think throughout, not just tonight, the 4 hours tonight, but throughout the bowl preparation, I think the light bulb went on as to what it takes to win at a championship level, and I'm excited to carry over those lessons into the offseason.
Front left.
Chip Brown with horns247.com in the Zone in Austin. For Tom, how many practices did you end up having for this bowl game, and how many are allowed? Because I think you said you weren't going to hit the allowable or something, but and then for Joseph and Malcolm defensively, just talk about what was going on. You guys dominated the game, set the tone. Were they playing you any differently, Joseph, tonight?
We only practiced 8 times. I think we went the Friday and Saturday when our coaches got off the road, and then we went Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, gave the guys off for Christmas, and then came back the day after Christmas, had what would be basically a Tuesday practice. We practiced twice here, and had family Fridays yesterday. That's not really a practice. Yeah, it's a misnomer. Everybody thinks that you get 15, just like spring ball. You get as many as you want, is my understanding. So we've got to be smart, and certainly with the early signing period, that has changed a lot of that dynamic. With really only 2 weeks, and if you play in the championship game, 1 week to wrap up, or mostly wrap up a signing class. So it leaves you much less time to practice, but it's worked out well for us the last couple years because our guys are fresh, and but we've been doing that. We like to have fun during bowl prep. We really do. And these guys have learned when it's time to relax and have fun, we're going to do that, and we're going to do it full tilt. But when it's time to lock in, these guys have really grown up and matured that, okay, now it's time to practice and meet and walk through and all that stuff. And these guys have been dialed in to do that.
Was your question, how do we feel dominating?
Wait, can you ask the microphone? Or direct it to one
Just-
player, please.
For Joseph and then for Malcolm, the dominating performance on defense and, what was going on out there.
What was going on out there was just us having fun, and us having confidence in the defense, the defensive scheme, the coaches. I know they put a lot of time into preparing this game for us, and they wanted to put us in the best position in the best situation possible. So we just trusted them. We bought in 100%, and then we went out there and executed. I think that was the key thing tonight was executing. We've done a poor job. I myself have done a poor job in the past of executing, and today I feel like we executed at a high level, and the result was pleasing.
I'm just so proud of us and proud of this defense. With 8 practices, we put in almost a whole new defense that we never ran before, and the way we brought it down and just got it down reps after reps, knowing when it's time to lock in and learn this defense. And, me and Joe switching sides almost every play, and the communication of the defense, that was big tonight. Just being able to talk, those guys run a lot of 12, 13, 14 personnel. And they tried to play real physical with us, and we answered the challenge, starting with Keandre Coburn up front and Taquan Graham, setting the point up front, doing a great job. And, it made me and Joe job easy tonight. All we had to do was set edges and force the ball back to the linebackers. And we did that all night. And the way we got down this defense and the way we went out there and played with each other and for each other, it was something, I never forget. And I'm just proud of all those guys in that locker room. That's all I can say.
Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Malcolm.
Coach, you always talk about how you want your guys to be pros, and they had a lot of things that could have been distractions with new OCs coming in, losing an OC, losing a DC, but they stayed focused, they stayed dialed in. So can you just talk about that aspect of them being professionals and avoiding the distractions that could have been there?
Well, you've got 3 captains up here and 1 future captain, and a lot of other leaders in that locker room that they distractions are only that if you choose to let them be. And these guys did a great job of tuning out the noise. I thought our staff did a heck of a job of not allowing all of that outside noise become a distraction as well, and 2 really good game plans. I mean, unbelievable game plans. Craig Niver and that defensive staff did an unbelievable job getting these guys ready for what they were about to face, and the entire offensive staff with some wrinkles and adjustments in order to attack some things that we saw on film. And this is you know, it would have been very easy. It would have been human nature for coaches to scatter, for players to scatter, for everybody to kind of splinter, especially knowing that the regular season was not what we had hoped going in. But I think everybody knew that, you know, we had 3 or 4 weeks to rectify some of the wrongs that happened throughout the regular season. And these guys are, again, they're competitors. They want to win, and they want to be put in the best position to win and be taught how to execute it, and then go out and do it, you know, with their hair on fire, so to speak. And I can't say enough about the leadership in the locker room, but also the staff and how professional they were in preparing these guys for this type of ball game.
Raul Flores, Associated Press. First for Sam and then Devin. Sam, from your vantage point, what were you seeing at the line of scrimmage that allowed your offensive schemes to be so effective against a pretty stout defense? And then Devin, just take us through those 3 amazing catches, what you saw as far as the separation. There wasn't much, but just take us through those 3 pretty amazing catches.
We knew coming into it that they're an incredible front 7, and the offensive linemen knew that they had to be physical and win their matchups, and I think they did exactly that. That allowed us to open up the run game, and then they had to load guys up in the box and try to take that away. And when you have guys like Devin and Colin and Brennan and that whole wide receiver room, it's really hard for them to stop us. So all credit goes up front. Those were some really, really talented All-American defensive players, and our guys did a great job of winning their matchups.
Yeah, I mean, I knew 28 could run. I knew he was a good player, and I knew I was just going to have to just out-technique him and just try to out-physical him. So, I mean, Sam just did a great job just putting the ball where I could get a chance, and all 3 of those plays just made a play, could come down with the ball.
Front right.
Nick Moll, San Antonio Express News. Sam, a couple days ago, you mentioned that, you know, it would have been easy for guys to have one foot out the door, and Coach Herman kind of touched on this before, but, you know, what did you, I guess, see in these weeks of practice? What did you sense that made you feel that these guys were capable of this? Because y'all were very confident heading into this game.
I think it's a credit to our coaching. There was never any sense of unfocusedness. I guess that's really not a word, but it was very professional. We understood what was on the table, and we understood the competition, and we knew the opportunity that we had to play such an incredible team. Obviously, they were fighting for a playoff spot a few weeks ago, and then we got the chance to play them, and so we knew the opportunity, and guys were really mature about that, and we wanted to finish the season off right for these seniors because of the things that they've gone through in this program. You think about the difference between their freshman year and now. I would say they've built the foundation of getting everything back to where we're playing better football, and they've been through a lot, and it's a testament to their character and who they are as people. A lot of guys in their class have left, and these are the guys that stayed, and they're captains, some are our best players, and so everybody wanted to play for them because of the love that we had for all those guys.
Tom, over these 8 practices, what did you and your defensive staff see from Court to have confidence in giving him a start today? And with you guys being down a few linebackers, how big was his play?
Oh, yeah. Court's a great story. You know, if there was a Scout Team Player of the Year award, he would have won it, you know, probably back-to-back years. And he's really tough, really physical, and just understands football. He sees the game really, really well. And we knew that, you know, we were going to be short in that area, especially with Joe and Jeff playing close to the line of scrimmage, needing those guys to play close to the line of scrimmage. And we were going to need him to be in that rotation, and he came through in a big way.
Cedric Golden, Austin American Statesman. Malcolm, you've been the emotional leader of this team, and you guys came out with a lot of juice early on defense. What message did that send to Utah? And also, how do you think your class has left this place going out, and what message did that send to your younger teammates coming back?
Game day consists of a lot of walkthroughs and meeting together, being around each other a lot on game day. And, we had 2 walkthroughs today, and, Coach Nyber just had great juice, just keeping everybody amped up. We in a walkthrough, we basically doing a run through because we so hyped up, ready to play. And, he's giving great speeches, things like that. And once the juice just flowing and you're out there playing loose and, the game plan and you're able to go out there and play fast, you play with a lot of confidence. And on defense, we did that, just being able to fly around and make plays and have that swagger and have that swagger and, just have fun doing it, the way ball is supposed to be played, you shouldn't be uptight playing ball. And we out there having fun, celebrating with your teammates, things like that, and that was just great. And that confidence just rolled into the whole game from the first half to the second half. And, my class and our legacy that we didn't left, the ultimate goal is to win a national championship, win the conference championship. And, we didn't do that, but we won 3 bowl games in a row. That hasn't been done here in 10 years, I think. And it just showed what you could do when you stay together. My class came in, we had a humongous class. We signed a lot of people, and I think it's only 8 of us left. I can't remember. It's not a lot of us left, and it just showed you what you could do when you stay together with your brothers. We've been through so much together, and the way we led this year, it wasn't always on the same page, but it always was the same message that wanted to get through the whole team. And, I couldn't be more proud of everybody, in my class, man. The bond we formed together is unbreakable. This dude sitting to my right is like one of my best friends, and he barely talk, and I talk a lot. And how we become best friends, I don't know. But, without us being here, that would have never happened. And, I'm proud that I got to meet these guys and proud that I got to spend some of the best years of my life with these guys and, pour our blood, sweat, and tears every day with them. And, our legacy is just we stayed solid with each other. We stayed solid from the first day. We could have broke, but the core of our class stayed solid. And I'm so proud of us.
We're going to do the final 3 in the queue, Kirk, and then the 2 on the end.
Yeah, Tom, how much was this about simplifying and letting athletes do their thing and getting Joe on the edge and turning them loose and letting them play free and easy? And what is it about you in bowl games?
Yeah, I think there's an element of simplification. You want to be simple but not predictable. I think that's the best way to describe, winning defense. And when they know what to do and they can fly around, but you don't want to, play 100% of the same thing, or else you're going to get schemed up and so there is a bit of a cat and mouse in terms of adjustment. I thought, our 3rd and long package was at its best tonight that I've seen in a long time. I thought Coach Nyber called a great game and, had a great game plan. And these guys, they bought into it and they flew around and they played really physical. As for me in bowl games, I don't know. I've had really good players. And we've, again, have always had kind of a philosophy of having fun during that time and working when it's time to work and having fun when it's time to have fun, because again, you're talking about a month in between ball games. And, these guys, the first couple weeks, week and a half after the Texas Tech game, they're worried about passing their finals and, some of them graduating, all of that. Jamari Chisholm needed to pass British Lit to graduate, and he did it. And we were so excited for him to do. I don't know that I could pass British Lit. So those first, that first week and a half or so is about, going down the wire academically. And then, once school is out, there's a lot of bonding that goes on, and a lot of fun to be had. But, I think we got really good coaches that, when given extra time to prepare, can find weaknesses, can find chinks in armors, and our kids buy in that. I mean, when you look at, the 4 bowl games that I've won as a head coach, it's always been about physicality, even going back to, at University of Houston and Florida State, we held them to, I think, 30 something yards rushing, and we ran the ball really well. And then, the Texas Bowl, we're playing the #1 offense in the SEC, and we hold them to 13 points. And then last year, we run the ball, which was not our strong suit, certainly last year. But we found ways to be physical against a great physical Georgia team. And then certainly tonight, one of the most physical teams in the country, the best rush defense in the country, and we found a way to rush for 231 yards. And, all of that credit, and hold them to 128 yards rushing. So all that credit goes up front, but I do think, the coaching staff deserves a small amount of that credit for finding ways to put our guys in position to be physical and fast.
On the end, class 2. And the blue jacket.
Question for Sam and Joseph. Dennis Delapena at Fox 7 in Austin. A performance like this breeds a lot of optimism. What do you think will be the key, and how optimistic are you that this program can take that step again and get back to that 10-win kind of level?
Yeah, I think when we're healthy and we're out there having fun and playing for each other and playing mistake-free, we're really, really hard to beat. I'm very optimistic about the guys that are coming back. There's a lot of young guys that have a lot of experience, and a really, really good football player. So I'm very optimistic.
The one I don't want to say good thing, because it's never a good thing to be injured, but the one good thing that came out of all the injuries this year was the amount of young guys that got to play and the experience they gained. And that's something you can only get through playing time. So I'm excited, and I'm optimistic about them coming back. I'm optimistic about the guys coming in with this new signing class and getting to get molded by Yancy McKnight and just getting on the field and working with them. So I'm excited for next season. I can't wait to see what we do.
We went, just a sidebar to that, we were walking through special teams today, and I was looking at the starting 11 guys on the kickoff team, and 10 of the 11 were either freshmen or sophomores. And then I looked at the punt return team, and I think it was 9 of the 11 were freshmen or sophomores. And so, it was a little bit nervous, but it's also very exciting to see, these young guys go out and make plays. And I think you saw that certainly with the punt returns that Deshaun had tonight too.
Final question, front.
This is for Sam and Joe. Obviously last year's win in the bowl game, it was seen as a program shifting win. I guess, how do you kind of view this from a prism of moving forward, from, I guess, a measured standpoint, or, moving forward as this being a big win that you guys can build off of?
I think it taught a lot of the young guys that when you play together, you play mistake free, you have fun, and then you lock in and play mistake free. That our talent can take us pretty far, and then once you add in mistake free football, watch out. And so I think that it's a great. I don't know how to word this, but I'm not gonna do that again. I'll leave it at that.
Smart move.
Yeah, this was a great game. Gave the guys a lot of confidence in what we can do and what we stand for, what we can be on defense, how dangerous we can be on defense, and equally on offense. So it was definitely an energy booster, and I'm glad we did what we did, because now we have that confidence. It can take us, it can boost us into the off season. We can have that on our shoulders and going through the off season, because there's no ball game. So you need to be reminded of something. It's definitely great to go into the off season with a win like this. So we're gonna take this win into the spring ball, and we're gonna keep working on our craft, and we're gonna try to come back next season even better.
Thank you.